Here are 12 things I wish I knew before I started wearing my hair wavy curly. Yes, it's a new logo. Do you like it? I felt like a change, and this kind of matches my current mood, my current feeling. So what do you think of the new logo? Anyway, you know what I can't believe? That it has been over 5 years that I have finally started wearing my hair wavy curly. I spent the majority of my human existence not really even realizing I had wavy curly hair. Why? Because this is what my hair looks like when it air dried. Product free. Shampoo, condition, air dry it, do nothing to it. It looked like that. There's no ringlets, no waves, no curls, just some frizzy floofiness. And this is what the hair looks like when it's styled, if I had only but known. Now, there are so many humans out there that do actually have wavy curly hair. They start the process of trying to embrace their waves and curls, and believe me, it's a process. And a lot of people get discouraged and quit and go back to their damaging heat styling ways. And I think a lot of it has to do with not realizing what they're in for. So let me tell you the 12 things that if I had known them when I started, it would have been really helpful. Number 1, prepare to throw predictability out the window. That control over how your hairstyle was going to turn out, just forget it. Put that expectation to the side for a little while at least. Figuring out this whole new, brand new, wonderful world of styling your waves and curls does take time. I like to think of it this way. Remember when you finally started learning how to do your own hair to go to school? How long did it take you? How did it look when you were done? You were learning how to do your hair and it looked terrible, if we're being honest. If you're anything like me at least, I would spend a good solid 2 hours on my hair in the morning before school, just so that I would look presentable. And it was barely passable and presentable. When you start learning to style your waves and curls, it is much the same process. You are doing nearly everything completely differently. From the way you wash your hair to the way you condition, you're scrunching gel into your hair, which feels so weird the first time you do it. You're plopping your hair with a microfiber towel, and you're diffusing your hair. All of this, all of these pieces, all of these elements have to be done right and done well in order for your hair to look okay, in order for your hair to turn out the way you want it to. So until you get really good at dialing in each of those elements of your wash days are gonna be a little unpredictable. You're not going to have the same exact hairdo every day. I wish I knew that my hair was gonna look a lot worse before it started looking better. There is this whole phase that you go through when you start styling your hair wavy curly called the transition phase. I would like to call it the transformation phase, where you're going from an ugly, fuzzy duckling to a glorious swan. It does take time though to go from A to B. The amount of damage that your hair accrued did not happen overnight, and damaged hair that's in transition, does not curl up and spiral up the same way as hair that is 100% healthy and 100% out of the transition phase. For me personally, it took roughly 8 months before I started having relatively predictable wash days. 1, because I'd finally figured out how to wash and style my hair, and 2, my hair had finally recovered enough from the years of heat styling and heat damage that I'd done to it. Finally, all my brand new healthy hair practices were accumulating on top of each other, and I was finally starting to see real results. You heard me right. It was not free 2-day Amazon Prime shipping results. 8 months of my hair looking really stringy and really questionable. The main reason that I even personally survived the transition phase was I started an Instagram account simply for the sake of documenting my wash days, what worked and what didn't. That was the kindest corner of the internet that I think exists to this day. Everyone was so sweet and so encouraging, and it was y'all's encouragement on Instagram that kept me going. I do want to mention that I have been through the transition phase not once, but twice, and here's how. I grew my hair out as long as I ever have in 2022. One, because I wanted to see how long I could grow my hair, and two, I really wanted to donate my hair to children with hair loss. After donating my hair, I got the really bright idea to bleach my hair to the heavens. And needless to say, my curls did not like it. I bleached it not once, but twice, because I had desire to be super, super platinum blonde. I quickly realized that I much prefer my natural hair color because my curls completely freaked out. And it actually took a year for my hair to fully recover. It was not 8 months of transition this time, folks. It was 12 months, and I actually knew how to wash and style my hair. I wasn't having to learn all of these pieces and elements. Like I know how to do wavy curly hair, especially my wavy curly hair, but it was not having it. But my hair has finally recovered and I'm out of my transition phase that was caused by highlights. I wish I knew that you could not create curl where curl didn't exist naturally. Somehow I got it in my head that I was going to do this thing called the curly girl method. That was the method I was going to use to wash and style my waves and curls. And that somehow the curly girl method was going to make my hair curly. No, my friends, no. That's not how it works. If you are not using heat to style your hair, if you are just enhancing your curl pattern as it grows out of your head, you kind of gotta take what nature gave you. You can scrunch your hair all you want. You can finger coil your hair all you want. You can buy the absolute max definition hold gel. But if you have a looser curl pattern, you cannot somehow make your hair a tighter curl pattern. Yes, there are a variety of factors that kind of contribute to how tight or loose your curls do appear. Are you using products that are really heavy? Are you air drying your hair versus diffusing it? Is your haircut weighing your hair down? That's a huge factor for me. Are your curl clump sizes too big or too small for your hair, making your curls have less structure so that they can't like curl up the way they are intended to? There are so many different factors that contribute to how curly your wash day appears. But there is a limit to how curly your hair can get because of how curly it is naturally growing out of your head. I wish I knew that wearing my hair wavy curly wasn't necessarily harder than my old routine, but it wasn't necessarily going to be easier. I was a starry-eyed Ute back in 2018 when I started this process, thinking that if I'm wearing my hair wavy curly, it's going to be big and beachy and effortless means I put in no work, meaning I just wash my hair and then scrunch some gel in and trot upon my way, and I would look like some sort of glorious beachy mermaid. I don't know what I was thinking. That is not how this works. My previous heat styling routine involved shampooing and conditioning my hair every single day, putting my hair up in a towel for 15 to 20 minutes, and then blow frying it into submission with a round brush and a blow dryer for 30 minutes. All in all, it was roughly a 45-minute to an hour-long process of washing and styling my hair. Now that I've been wearing my hair wavy curly for 5 years, I have actually gotten my routine down maybe even a little bit faster than that. I can wash, condition, style my hair, plait my hair, and diffuse it all within 30 minutes if I have to. 45 minutes is the average time that I spend when I'm kind of taking my time and being more precise and more careful. But honestly, my old heat styling routine and my new wavy curly healthy hair routine are very similar times. In the same vein, I wish I knew that diffusing was way better than air drying. I spent the first month and a half of trying to wear my hair wavy curly. While it was its most damaged, I tried to air dry my hair. I can't air dry my hair now and it turned out well, much less when it was in such a persnickety, fragile place as it was when it was in transition. It really is worth getting you the $18 hair dryer from the Walmarts that does come with the diffuser and spending and investing at least 10 to 15 minutes diffusing your hair, getting that gel cast set. You can air dry the rest of the way. I get it. I get that after you have washed, conditioned, scrunched gel into your hair and plopped it, the idea of investing another 45 minutes of your life diffusing your hair doesn't sound appealing. So what do? You throw in the metaphorical microfiber towel and say, forget it, I'm just gonna air dry from here on out. But what you don't realize is that you're going to have wet hair for like 4 to 6 to 8 hours. Why? Because you put a styler in your hair, usually a gel, which is kind of occlusive and it's going to hold in water. So your hair is going to take forever to air dry, way longer than it would otherwise. And while it's air drying, you're going to have to be super careful, trying not to break up your curl clumps or touch your hair, because if you touch your hair while it's drying, it frizzes really badly. Instead, investing 15 minutes into diffusing gets you at least 80% of the way dry. The gel cast is set, so your hair, you can kind of touch it without fear of it frizzing, because that gel cast will protect your hair while it finishes drying. Just trust me, diffuse your hair. It alleviates the weight of the water, get your hair dried faster. You can 100% dry your hair with a diffuser and not encourage frizz. That is another big complaint that I hear from people who just prefer to air dry their hair over diffusing. It's that every time they diffuse their hair, they're causing frizz. My question is, how? What are you doing? Are you being incredibly aggressive with the diffuser? I could see how if you're diffusing like this, you're going to create frizz. But if you hover diffuse your hair, the dryer doesn't even touch your hair. You're basically just speeding up the air drying process. So there you go. Those are my 2 cents on that issue. I wish I knew that using sulfates and deep conditioning with heat made as big a difference as it does. Somehow I got it in my head that I was never allowed to touch a really harsh stripping shampoo ever again. I was going to do this thing called the final wash, strip off all the old buildup, and then never use a shampoo that foamed and sudsed and lathered ever again. Guess what I got myself into? I got myself into a world of buildup and gunk and just nastiness. It took me a while, but I finally realized that using a good solid clarifying shampoo that contains a few sulfates actually is the most gentle and effective way at removing buildup. Sure, you can remove buildup with bentonite clay and apple cider vinegar, but these things are going to be way harsher on your hair than using a sulfate. And after using that sulfate, your hair is in absolute prime condition. There's no product buildup on your hair, blocking your hair from absorbing all the goodness that's in your deep conditioner. So clarifying with the sulfate shampoo, using a sulfate shampoo to really pull all the buildup off, and then deep conditioning with heat for 30-ish minutes is the most amazing thing. If you are starting this process of embracing your waves and curls and you're getting super frustrated because your hair looks like poo, I've been there. I understand. Taking a day to do a clarify and deep condition session hits that reset button and gets your hair back to where it needs to be. And I personally love to use the clarify and deep condition session days to go air dry my hair product free. When there is no product on my hair, I can really see how the health of my hair has been improving, and it's encouragement to continue on this process because I know how my hair felt before I started this process when I would air dry, and it was bad. It was a broom. But after embracing my waves and curls, my hair was becoming so much healthier, and clarifying and deep conditioning and letting my hair air dry product free really allowed me to see just how much my hair was transforming, and it reset my hair. So it gave me a break and it reset my hair. I wish I knew that hair oils were not the enemy. I had it in my head that since I was a more oily, greasy individual, that I needed to avoid oils, butters like the plague. So I was reading ingredients labels like every curly girl out there and trying my darndest to avoid all products that contained any oils or butters, and you best believe I was not going to be applying like straight oil to my hair because I was oily. I didn't need any more oil. I could not have been more wrong. There are innumerable benefits to using oil on your hair before washing, getting about 10 drops, working it into your scalp, onto the lengths of your hair, finger detangling your hair with an oil before shampooing, really coating your hair nice and thoroughly in a thin layer of hair oil. Protects your hair before shampooing, and it actually loosens buildup and sebum, or the oil your scalp produces, loosens all that up really well before you wash your hair, because like dissolves like. Oil dissolves oil. So I wish I knew that oils were actually my friend. I wish I knew that sleeping on a silk pillowcase was 100% worth it. I don't know what it is about me that's really stubborn and kind of like wants to be a bit of a minimalist. You may have noticed in my most recent videos, I'm really only reaching for 3 products to wash and style my hair. I'm not doing the 12-step curly hair routine. I'm trying to be as simple and minimalistic as possible, make less purchases, all that kind of stuff. And I was so stubborn about buying the silk pillowcase. I thought that that was the most bougie thing. And I did not want to be a bougie human. So I was refusing for the longest time to buy a silk pillowcase. I was trying every other which way I could possibly think of to avoid buying a silk pillowcase. It was worth it. My hair health radically improved after getting a 100% pure silk pillowcase. It just got so much better. I do have links in the description down below for products that I like, so keep that in mind if you are looking for a good silk pillowcase. The one I like is linked down below. But in theory, if you are being a really good human and getting the 8 hours of sleep that you really do need, you're keeping your head in contact with that pillowcase for 8 hours. If you can minimize the friction to your hair by switching from cotton to silk, it's like the easiest, most mindless switch you can possibly make. It's a non-consumable product. You buy it one time and you literally just sleep, and your hair gets better and better, and your wash days get better and better. There are a wide variety of different silk pillowcases out there now. I know that silk can kind of give some like sensory issues, and that was kind of one of my things with also not wanting a silk pillowcase. I didn't want it because it would feel slippery and slimy and cold. It depends on which one you get. Just try a few out and see what you like and what you don't. But silk pillowcases are so helpful. I wish I realized that curl pattern did not matter. Like I said earlier, I tried to make my hair curlier with the curly girl method, create curls where there weren't any. And this chart right here was all over the internet, and it really messed me up. Somehow I got it in my head that the 3B, 3A area of the chart was where I was going to get. That if I just did enough of the right things, that somehow I would finally hit the 3A, 3B, area of the curl chart, and I would have arrived. I would have won. I don't know what I would have won, because nobody shows up to your house with a prize if your curls are 3A and 3B. Also, knowing the alphanumeric categorization of your hair literally does nothing for you. It does not tell you which products will work best for your hair. It doesn't tell you which styling techniques are gonna work better for you. It literally tells you nothing. The information that is actually going to let you know which products may or may not work for you and which styling techniques may or may not work for you is how fine or coarse your hair is, and how porous your hair is, or how damaged your hair is. Hair that is higher porosity, that has more damage, is going to need a ton more product and probably a whole lot more layering of product, whereas low porosity doesn't need as much product. Fine hair tends to need products that are lighter weight, whereas coarse hair tends to need products that are a lot heavier. But the curl chart, it just set me up for ringlet envy and absolute failure, because my end goal was 3B curls, and I'm never going to have 3B curls. Why? Because I am fearfully and wonderfully made with some S waves or swaves and some curls. They're hidden in here, but there's some curls in here. P.S. You can also have tons of different curl patterns all over your head. I wish I knew that my hair was going to need different things during different seasons. For example, my hair needs different products in the summer months versus in the winter. In the winter, it tends to be a lot drier and a lot colder, and it needs more moisture. Whereas in the summer, I can kind of get away with a lot. My hair needs maybe stronger hold products to kind of lock it in place because we're running around a lot more and having a lot more fun outdoor activities. It's just hotter. So my hair needs less heavy products. I also had no idea that when I started this process, my hair was actually going to become the healthiest it has ever been. Don't ask me how I didn't realize that. Like, I vaguely understood that I would be using less heat on my hair and that meant that my hair would look nicer and maybe get a little healthier. But I was always one of those people that really struggled with split ends and frizz and tangles. I cannot tell you how bad my tangles were. I could brush my hair out perfectly. It would be 100% brushed out, and I could sit in a windowless room with zero draft and sit perfectly still, and 5 minutes later, my hair would be an absolute rat's nest. That was because my hair was so incredibly damaged. But now that my hair is so much healthier, you're not supposed to brush your hair out with your fingers. Don't do this at home, kids. I don't have tangles. Even though my hair is styled curly, I still don't have tangles. Split ends, almost never get any at this point because I am now using an arsenal of healthy hair habits to care for my waves and curls that have wildly improved the health of my hair. The shine of my hair never used to be super shiny. I always had to use high shine serums to get my hair to look shiny. Now my hair just looks shiny because it's healthy. The hair cuticle's laying down nice and smoothly, and the light can go ahead and reflect off of it in a very lovely way. The last thing I had no idea was going to happen to me when I started wearing my hair wavy curly was that I would finally experience the deepest self-acceptance I have ever known. There is something about my hair that was tied to my soul. For so long, I thought that my hair was just bad hair and that there was something wrong with me and that there was something broken about me because my hair wasn't like the other girls. My hair wasn't smooth, it wasn't tangle-free, it wanted to frizz, it was constantly breaking, and I thought that I just had to work harder to have average hair. But somehow through the process of embracing my waves and curls and really learning how to love and nurture and nourish my curls and how they wanted to be styled, I got to watch my hair literally transform before my eyes. And somehow, as I watched my hair transform, my heart transformed, and I realized that I wasn't defective, that I wasn't broken, and that I was worth nurturing and nourishing and taking care of too. All right, guys, those are the 12 things I wish I knew before I started styling my hair wavy curly. Tell me something in the comments down below that you didn't know about styling hair wavy curly that would have been helpful to know before starting this whole process. Let's help each other out in the comments. I would love to see your bright and shining face again here on this channel, so feel free to subscribe and click that notification bell, especially if you want to see how I wash and style my hair. I have tons of videos on this channel demoing exactly how to do that and a lot more tips and tricks. As always, I sure hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!